Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. I'm laughing because I'm distracted with the frogs that I can hear outside of my window right now. Indigo Rising Tarot. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. And welcome. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 21st through the 27th. And during that time, we first, of course, have the solstice that comes in on the 21st. So find a place to watch the sunrise or the sunset. If you can do it somewhere significantly, we have a few places around here because we're in Indian Mound country, and there's a lot of things that we could do, but try to find a place to really enjoy that. Also, we have the first quarter moon that comes in on the 23rd, and that can feel a little bit like that full moon energy. So it's a time of, where you might feel impulsive, impatient. Your mind might be a little bit active, even if it's just for a couple of hours that day. But, understand that that's either a gift for you to learn to be in control and dominate those impulses, or just kind of schedule yourself a little bit of a light day that day. Also, we have the waxing gibbous energy. That's for the rest of the week. And that's a time for us to get back to work on those things that we started during the new moon, but also show that we can be flexible and make adjustments. So please keep all of those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. And your overall message for this reading is to hold your vision. All right, let's see what Sagittarius Collective has going on for the week. And now the frogs have stopped, so that's even weirder. They were going, and now it's just so dead silent. Like, what happened out there? Anyway, it's summer, and I love it. And we just had some rain come in, so of course the frogs are out there lapping up the rain. But all right, I'll stop talking about frogs. Let's get into this reading. Also, my fun weekly reminder for you, Sagittarius, as I'm shuffling, is to keep a spiritual journal. So a lot of times as we move through our spiritual life, we just forget to write things down, and you forget things. I know this from my own past. I wish I'd been doing this my whole entire life, but more in recent years is when I started. So, but there are things that I would write down, very significant, like dreams, and I love going back to read. And those tend to be, for me, the very significant ones tend to be the premonition type dreams. But I've recently learned that some premonition dreams are very benign, and it's not just the ones that seem significant. So I've been trying to journal more of those. But anyway, writing down synchronicities or just things that you're learning, that sort of thing. It's just good to be able to go back and have that record to look at, like, oh, here's when I learned this thing, and here's I've applied it, and it's made a difference in my life, or it hasn't. Maybe I'll stop doing that thing and try another thing. So but keeping a spiritual journal will help you with those things. All right, let's get into this reading. Sagittarius, June 21st through the 27th, hold your vision. Your overall present energy is the 10 of Pentacles. So if your vision is about long-term wealth security, that's the card for you. And you do have to hold that vision. As we're moving through our life, you might have, there's always like goal points. And I say, you need to set goals for set goals for the week, for the month, but also for the year and for 5 years and 10 years. You do those goal points like that. And a card like this is something that you do need to kind of revisit is, are you saving enough? Are you investing enough? Are you doing the things that are going to be good for you, and you're in retirement, or that your family, the people around you, are you making those decisions? So make sure that you are. And it's the kind of thing that you do have to kind of, make decisions and then go back and revisit and recalculate and make adjustments on as time goes by. Your current situation right now is the 7 of Swords. So there might be, this can be some sort of theft or hidden agenda, or some sort of cunning or craftiness. So if that's around you, and maybe it's time to go, even with just your employer, go make sure that the money you think you're setting aside and that they're matching, make sure that that's right. Make sure there hasn't been some sort of hidden agenda with your employer. Make sure that the balance is what you think it is. So, it might just be just a good time to kind of look at those things and make sure that the plans that you're making are based on real information, because not everybody is on the up and up, especially that there's things out there that go on, right? At the root of your situation is some rest and meditation here with the 4 of Swords. So, and it could be that just has you thinking about it, that you've had some time, life's kind of slowed down for a minute, and you have it just kind of came to mind, like, hey, shouldn't I have X amount of dollars in my retirement account? And so, yeah, if it's on your mind and it comes up, there's usually some reason for it. There's things come up in your mind for a reason. So go check that out. In your recent past here is the Knight of Wands. So you've been passionately moving forward on this anyway. And you were very passionate about it in the past, and sometimes that does kind of wane. You go into something and you make these decisions about your retirement and your investments and whatever, and then you just kind of think everything's on autopilot. And that's what I'm saying about checking to make sure that it is. Just make sure everything is where you want it to be, and make sure you are setting those kind of goals for your future also, and hold your vision about it, right? What's on your mind this week is the Hanged Man. So maybe you have some sort of new perspective coming in because you've witnessed something, or something has come up maybe in the news, or something that's just made you think about this. So whatever that is for you. I mean, it could be that you just had a little windfall and you have a vision about investing. And I think maybe I feel like something in your reading last week might have been that anyway, that you have had that. So, make sure that you are holding on to this vision, saving the way you should, and just kind of stick to it, because that's what you need to do. What is just ahead of you this week is the Five of Wands. So some sort of maybe argument or debate about it. And maybe it is about, maybe there's debate about where to put money, that you're having with other people. That these are the kind of conversations you should want to debate about. And I always say with debate, hold your ground, but make sure you're listening, because you might have someone next to you that knows more than you do about a thing, and you might think you do, but be open to learning. So that's why people debate. If people didn't care, they're not going to bring up their point of view and kind of push back on something that you think you know. And they could be wrong, but it's good to listen. And even if you're learning together, like, hey, let me listen to the thing you have to say too. So pay attention to that. In your advice position here is the Five of Cups. So there might be something in this debate that just makes you feel a little disappointed. And maybe it is that the information that you feel like is not correct, right? You might get proven wrong, and that might make you feel a little sad. But this is usually our card of sadness and grief. So whatever it is that you're feeling, I'm sure that if sometimes if you come out of a debate and you didn't really win the debate, that can be the feeling. But again, I'm always about, okay, I love it when someone can prove me wrong. If I think I know a thing, and if you can come back and say, oh no, here's the actual thing, I love that. I'm like, that makes me learn. So make sure that those feelings are in the correct place, right? What is beyond your control this week is the Two of Wands here. So definitely beyond your control to just be thinking about your future again with this Ten of Pentacles. So, if something in this debate makes you a little bit sad or upset, just make sure that, hopefully that person, I do feel like anytime someone debates like that, they're not doing it for fun. I mean, it's usually because they just disagree with you, and they're going to tell you what's up and what they think is correct. But it's beyond your control to be thinking about the future. So that's okay there. Let's see. What is your secret desire? What are you trying to avoid? Your secret desire is the Empress, which is that long-term creativity. She's our mother of the deck. This is she's probably pregnant in this picture. If that's something you're being careful about, do be careful about it. She can be an indicator of that, or this is your secret desire or trying to avoid. So make sure that whatever part of that train you're on. It doesn't always have to be motherhood. The Empress can be just long-term creativity, though. It's something that you would enter into, like long-term investing, long-term wealth and security, right? That you would make that decision to, I'm going to invest X amount every month, and I'm going to do it for 20 years, right? It's not like the Empress is going to do a flash in the pan kind of investment. She's in it for the long haul. And whatever the investment is, be it real estate, be it some sort of financial thing, she's not going to go touch her money. The Empress knows that she has to be patient, hold the vision, and let that sit in there for a while, right? In your outcome position is the Eight of Swords here. So you're feeling a little bit stuck, and it could be again about this debate. You've put a lot of thought into it, and maybe you're just not at a place where you can think your way out of it, but you might just need more information. You've got this new perspective with the Hangman for whatever reason, but you do need to hold on to at least your own vision. Maybe how you're going about it isn't correct, but hold your vision for sure. What is hidden from you this week at the bottom of the deck is a Tower. So there's not there's nothing that's hugely disruptive or threatening or any sort of disruption coming. It's almost like just kind of managing this, and this is just what life is. So hold on to the vision that you have. Make sure that you're making the correct decisions to make those visions come to fruition. So, all right, let's get you a final message here. Final message for Sagittarius from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Sagittarius, and the card that you get is to nurture yourself first. So whatever's going on, nurture yourself first and nurture your vision. Not sometimes your vision might not be someone else's vision. And again, you might have debates about it, but figure out why if you're trying to get on the same page about something. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Sagittarius this week, and the card that you get is the card called Abundance. Well, interesting because, wow, look, we're talking about abundance here. Right at your overall energy here is long-term abundance. Being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is the secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. I love this card. Hold your vision. And I did feel like, we started with pentacles. There aren't a lot of other pentacles on the table. And it's because there's thoughts and ideas and passions and things that go into, what is it that you do want to create for yourself long term. So definitely hold your vision. Question how you're going about it, and let other people, ask other people. You might have debates about it, and that's fine. Healthy debate. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there's something in this reading that you can use in your life in a positive way this week. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below and let me know if anything resonated, or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you as well. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe really helps my channel, helps me so much, and I do appreciate that from you so much. So thanks again. Thanks for being here. Come on back next week and let's see where your story goes. So see you then. Bye-bye.